I know that this video is a bit... who am I kidding? I can't pull off that voice right now. But I know this video is on a Tuesday, which is kind of nice. Thought I just saw something. Now, I'm making this video telling a scary story, or a creepypasta, if you will. Hopefully it does turn out very well, but this is a true story though. It's kind of weird. As a child, I was always told not to look out my window at night. I never knew why, but one day I finally asked, and they told me about what hides in the dark. And at the time, I thought they were crazy. Kind of mental even, just to keep me from looking out the window. Sure, in the daytime I was allowed to, but once the darkness set in, I was told to stay away from them. Well, one night, I heard tapping. I heard a bit of tapping on my window, and I got curious. So I went up to my window, pulled back the curtains. There was nothing there. I looked out into the yard, far beyond there. It was pitch black out. I could not see anything. But I could always tell there was something out there. So, not knowing what was there, I went back to bed, not knowing what was watching. I laid in bed for maybe an hour, almost 2, and I eventually drifted back to sleep. And I remember the last thing I saw before I fell asleep, I glanced at my window, saw a flash of red light, and I was asleep. I woke again maybe just an hour later. Here, give me a second, I need to fix something real quick. Oop, fix that. Thank you. But yeah, I saw a flashing red light out my window and I was back to sleep. Now, I thought nothing of it, but I woke up again an hour later, tapping on my window. The only difference was, this time it was a bit louder. Notice I'm looking around me because I'm hearing stuff besides the train. And I will explain why I'm doing this video in a minute. But anyways, let me continue. Well, I woke up about an hour later and it's happening again. And I was a little annoyed, so I just let it keep tapping, hoping it would go away. It didn't. Evidently it didn't. So I got irritated after 10 minutes of it tapping, and I went to the window. I pulled back the curtains, and there was still nothing there. I looked out into the yard again. The only difference about this time was the yard was a bit more illuminated. And so I saw not one, but 2 shadowy figures. One in the center of the yard, one fairly close to the stairs, because when I was younger, we used to live in a house where the back porch was leading to the yard, and it was an outside porch, and this closest shadowy figure was at the stairs of the porch. Now, the porch was about 3 feet tall, so I would have to say, roughly trying to remember, I would say that figure was around 5 foot to maybe 6.5, not even 6.5, but like 5 foot, 5.5 feet. Well, the other one I couldn't really make out the height because of how poorly lit the yard was, but I kind of pondered for a minute. I blinked and rubbed my eyes thinking I was just hallucinating. I kid you not, I just pissed myself. That is something you do not say on video. I am gonna alert you guys, I am carrying a pool cue and another sort of weapon in my pocket. But I just heard and saw something run across my driveway and I pissed myself a little bit. I'm not gonna lie about that. But anyways, let me continue with the story. After I blinked and rubbed my eyes and kind of focused in on the yard a bit, there was nothing there anymore. So I just shrugged it off, closed the curtains, and went back to bed. I looked at the clock after I got cozied up under the comforters, and I would have to say it was around 3 to 4 a.m. I don't remember the exact time, but I know it was in between those two, but it's kind of creepy. So I started to doze back off, but this time when I tried to doze back off, it wasn't tapping at my window, it was more knocking. There was someone knocking at my window. Curious, I kind of just, and when I was a child, I was scared of many things, but curiosity always got the better of me. So instead of going to go get my parents, I walked up to the window once more and looked out. How very wrong I was to do this. Once I opened the window, both black figures stood right outside of it. I do admit I was scared, but I looked at them, and I do remind you that since I was younger, I did have a nightlight in my room, so I could make out the figures, but the scary thing is, I couldn't see their faces. And these were solid black figures. There was no clothes or anything to them, just pitch black. I cocked my head a little to the side, closed them around my eyes, but when I reopened them, they were still there. I knocked back on the window, and they just did it right back. I knocked 3 more times, and they both slammed their hands on the window. Amazed, my mom and dad did not hear this. I just jumped back a bit, a little frightened. I realized that they couldn't get in. I cocked my head to the side a little bit, puzzled at who and what they were, and I just waved bye. I closed my curtains and went back to bed. There was a knock, harder than the first 2. So instead of just going straight to the curtains, I turned on my bedroom light, and then I went there just to see. There was the shadows of the figures still shone through the curtains, but I ripped the curtains open this time, and scary enough, there was nothing there. I looked out into the yard, which, since the light from my bedroom was shining out my window, I could see the yard a lot better now. There was nothing there. I opened my window, and my window didn't have a screen at the time, so I was able to stick my head out on the ground. I looked to my left and to my right, there was nothing there. Looked down, nothing but the deck. But I felt something cold breathing down my neck. I turned around to see both hooded figures sitting right there above my window. They were both sitting there above my window, staring down at me, and I don't know if they were staring at me or had their backs to me. That was what the scary part was. I screamed. My mom and dad came running into the room, asking me what was wrong. As soon as they entered the room, I was in a ball, curled up on the floor crying, the window still wide open, wind blowing through it, bellowing the curtains. They asked what was wrong, and I just pointed to the window. They looked out, saw nothing. They looked in every direction, up, down, left and right. They even looked out into the yard. My dad even took out one of his guns. My pool cue is covering the, my dad even went out and grabbed one of his guns, and he went to go see if there was something out in the yard. There was nothing. Now, The only reason I'm bringing up this story is I was taking my dog out earlier tonight, and I was looking at all the pine trees surrounding my yard. And I swear to God, I saw one of them standing there. And as I was walking back into my house, I turned and looked at the front porch. The other one was sitting right there on the banister. Now, you guys could see all of it the way I was holding the camera. The way I was holding the camera. And now I kind of fear if they have returned. If you guys don't believe me, go ahead and try looking out your window at night and listening for the knocking and the tapping, just to see if they're there. Hope you all have a nice night. I'll be seeing you all soon. Only a few people that watch these will know why this accent is important to me. I will see you all next time. Thanks, and... oh wait, one more thing I want to show you guys before I actually logged out of this video. It is not my house. I'm not going to show you guys that. Ivy! Not my puppy! No, I wasn't going to show you guys. It's okay, girl. Hey, it's okay. Shh, sit. It's not my dog either. She's just being a little nuisance. But I wanted to show you guys this. My family set up the Christmas tree with me and my family set up the Christmas tree. As you guys can tell, it's full of ornaments. My doggo is jumping on me. Yeah. Okay, Ivy. Okay. So yeah. My doggo. Ow! Jesus, she got my face. You guys want to see my doggo? Come here. She thinks she's a cat. Hey, stop. Ivy, look. Puppy. She doesn't really like cameras all that much here. Ivy. She doesn't like cameras very much. Ivy. Hey. Puppy. See if I can actually get a shot of her face. Without her looking at me. Ivy. Get up from under the tree. Jeez. Hey, stop. Sit. Good girl. Yeah. She's a pupper. German Shepherd and a Rot mix, so she's a good dog. Very friendly, too. Done? Well, anyways, guys, I'll see you next time. Hopefully what I saw was just my eyes playing tricks on me. Hopefully. Bye, guys.